Pennsylvania Democratic Senator John Fetterman joins me now. Senator, always good to have you on the program. You saw this coming, did you not?
Oh yeah, hi. Oh well, yes, of course. I remain fascinated with the left. Just quickly, just got all in for this total dirtbag. And I mean, it's not like how did we not know this was going to happen? I mean, he is a liar. He lies to his own wife. He was sending sexually explicit messages just as a newlywed, and spent an entire decade on a platform like Kick that's for anonymous kind of sexting, and it's really impossible to really discern on exactly, are these people really legal adults too. Now lied. He came to the caucus last month and said, "Oh no, there's not going to be any more things." And now Bernie Sanders' main man just said on CNN yesterday that Graham Platner raped me in my apartment back in 2021. And now, why aren't people talking more about that poor victim? She had the courage to go on CNN and describe this trauma, how Graham Platner have raped her. So, in all of these kind of statements, not one single one that I've read now mentions this poor woman. My thoughts are with her. And he brutalized her that night. And now, why did so many people were willing to dismiss the New York Times report last month that described that he was problems with violence, with women as well too?
So, what do you believe is the responsibility of those progressives within your party, Senator Fetterman, who stood by Platner for week upon week upon week upon week? Do they have to explain something? Do they have to apologize? And if they do, who do they explain it to and who do they apologize to?
Well, more than anyone that put someone like P. Hustle on the map, that was Bernie Sanders. He threw out all his substantial kinds of political capital, on the left, and he described him. He is the next best thing coming. And why? Why? At what point? His record is what? A Nazi tattoo, saying terrible and offensive things online, and now abusing women that he happened to date. What's the appeal now? So I would just encourage him now, humble yourself. Your main man just was on CNN yesterday and described your main man raped me in my apartment. And now only thing he could say that they might have some serious allegations. Well, yeah, that they're really serious ones. And there's also a name attached to it. And there is a woman that he brutalized that night. So he seems now he's entitled to be a part of this conversation to pick the next one. Many of these people that put someone like Platner in this seat right now, sit it out and now allow the Maine Democrats to find out. They would have a much better idea on how to win in Maine, a lot more than someone that comes from a
Senator,
state. Uh, yes, what?
does this event, what happened with Graham Platner, for you, suggest a defect in the way progressives think about politics and people who ought to represent the progressive cause?
I mean, like what really was the appeal? Now, and it forced them to constantly defend these things. Everyone knows that what that ink was on his chest. That was a very famous Nazi image now. And now from there, it only get worse things. After there was like a round of scandal saying terrible things, oh, no, there won't be a number one. What's the appeal? Yeah, just saying a lot of extreme far left kind of things. Anybody can do that. He had no record. He had no actually demonstrated, that he, is actually fit to be in the United States Senate. But why people got so eager all in on someone like this, and they pushed out and rejected, their sitting governor, an absolute committed Democrat. It wasn't that long. She was celebrated within our party. So you pick a guy that spent yesterday being accused of rape, and how have we arrived here? That's, I think, is an important thing to explore. And the
Let me
people that really made that possible, really it's entirely hold them accountable to.
Let me explore something else with you, Senator Fetterman. It's sometimes suggested that you have become so alienated from the Democratic Party that under the right circumstances, you might switch to the Republican Party in the Senate. Is that something you would ever consider?
And I would never change my party. And if a Democrat's angry that I'm going to call trash, trash, and if it happens to be a Democrat, yeah, that's trash, and that's entirely what Graham Platner is, trash, and he's a dead man walking, and he thinks that he has some leverage, that he is entitled to be part of this conversation at this point. So for me as a Democrat, why why is it outrageous to have and call what this is? As a committed Democrat that votes the 93% Democratic line, can you imagine if I pushed and promoted the kind of a dangerous candidate like Graham Platner that absolutely shattered the biggest, most expensive, and the most important race in the Senate in America? If my candidate blasted everything apart, hold someone like Bernie Sanders and the other people that got all behind him. For me, you want to be angry at me because I'm going to call him garbage. Then that's really a strange place for the Democratic Party to be.
Pennsylvania Democratic Senator John Fetterman. Senator, I always appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you.